Hello, it's your friendly neighborhood host JT Wheatley back for another episode of the History Comics Podcast. This time on another edition of the classics, and with this one, the trade paperback of Fables, 1001 Nights of Snowfall by Bill Willingham and various artists, including his stalwart Mark Buckingham, who illustrated much of the Fables series. This is a great one-off story in which Snow White goes off to be an ambassador to Arabia, only for her to be kidnapped by a local sultan who intends to marry her and then kill her the next day, of course in line with the classic 1001 Nights fables from Arabian Nights. And of course, Snow White plays along with that, telling you a different tale every night tied in with the Fables' actual storyline. For those not familiar with Fables, it was a brilliant series by Bill Willingham, mostly Mark Buckingham as regular artist, in which the fairy tales of Grimm and so forth came to live in, were driven from their home world and came to live in modern-day Earth in a place called Fabletown, and it showed how they interacted with the Earthlings and so forth, and along with how they're actually interpreted. Willingham does a great job showing, actually addressing the real Grimm fairy tales. Like, you know, if you actually read those books, they're pretty dark and twisted. But mixing a nice little, also the Disney's vacation of its own too. So it's like, it was adult oriented, but we're a nice twist too. For instance, in Fabletown, the sheriff is the big bad wolf. Snow White is the assistant to the mayor. There's a lot of fun bureaucracy and so forth. And of course, the relationships are a big surprise. And the various artists all work great with each different story. Mark Buckingham is always just perfect for this Fables and so forth. And overall, Fables 1001 Nights of Snowfall was just a great read for those who are looking to jump in and check out Fables and see if this is your kind of thing. Fables is it's the run, which went well over 100 issues, but eventually did wrap up. It's kind of daunting to jump into, so probably start with this trade paperback. Check out the entire series because it's a great run in general. One of the best of the Vertigo series in the last few years. But yeah, you're looking for a nice classic read and something to get you started on a classic series, check out Fables, 1001 Nights of Snowfall, because that, in my opinion now, is a true classic.
Positive than a New Day pancake. More fun than a super kick party. It's the wrestling podcast from the host, who is the hammer swinging, burrito eating, well, you know the rest, of Thunder Talk. Sexy Thor. It's the Ring of Thunder, found in the Thunderverse and among the great podcasts of the ESO network.
Now it is September 23rd, 2021, time for my favorite comic of the week, Fantastic Four number 35 by Dan Slott and John Romita Jr., which celebrates the 60th anniversary of the stalwart original Marvel team that finds the Fantastic Four dealing with the various incarnations of Kang the Conqueror throughout their own history and, of course, his history, because as you know, Kang the Conqueror has different guises throughout his own timeline. He's been Rama Tut, the Scarlet Centurion, Kang the Conqueror, Immortus, and also a new one, Scion, that shows up for the Final Future issue. And each one goes back to a different time in the Fantastic Four's history to acquire a specific artifact that could be the key to conquering the world. This is just a great tribute to the Fantastic Four's history and their villains. You know, Kang was originally one of their classic villains. And of course, going along with their timelines, for instance, you go to this era where Reed and Sue weren't married yet. You also go to the era where you forgot that, Ben Grimm once wore a helmet because his face was scarred up for a minute, which is kind of weird. But yeah, they kind of acknowledge that too. And yeah, just a fun, great tribute to the great history of the Fantastic Four, one of the great teams in comic books, period. And of course, gorgeous art by John Romita Jr., easily still one of the best artists in the business today. His storytelling is par none some of the best you'll ever see. Great character designs, action. It is filled to the brim with details and so forth. So yeah, you're looking good. Just a great tribute to the great Fantastic Four. So definitely picked it up. And with that, we'll conclude the edition of the classics for this week. Join me again next week when we probably do another edition of the classics. And until then, go out and enjoy yourself the good comic book. And of course, if you can, check out the Fables, 1001 Nights of Snowfall, because that, in my opinion, is a true classic.